Hello everyone, R6004 here with a new Let's Play after like 4 years of no YouTube. Oh man, tragic. Today we're here with Lego Island 2. Many of you have already seen Island Extreme Stunts, which we have done on this channel a long time ago.
Oh, and also I'm here.
So this is the...
I'm Varun. I was in some of the Let's Plays previously, Warframe and Hard Gold Soul
Sonic
Silver.
that we never finished. We gotta finish that one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we only did
that was
2
actually a
levels
pretty
of.
good game.
Yeah, it is actually. Well, okay, it was a broken game,
Not
but
that bad.
it was fun to play in co-op. It was fun to break the game in co-op.
So today we're here with Lego Island 2, and this is the prequel to Island Extreme Stunts. You'll see quite a few similarities.
Well, knock me over and call me deconstructed. If it isn't Pepper, the dude with the food. Listen, I've got good news and I've got better news. Which would you like to hear first?
I'm all ears.
The good citizens of Lego Island are donating your new home. Yes, each citizen will contribute a sturdy new Lego brick. But first, you must deliver these delicious pizzas from Papa to the good people of Lego Island. Good luck.
Whoa! I mean, thank you, sir. I'm on it.
Alright, so
Fighting in this game.
I have actually played Lego Island 1, but you have not.
Yeah, I believe the story goes that I rolled over it with the chair when I was very young.
Yeah, I believe that you broke the disc. It was a long time ago, so I don't really remember that well, but I believe that's what happened.
Rob, I got your pizza here.
But yeah, I've played Lego Island 1. Lego Island 2 is pretty different in that, 1, it's third person, 2, you can't really build anything, but also, there are actually multiple islands beyond just Lego Island in this. But there are some similarities. I mean, you have, obviously, the main character, Pepper, and the Brickster, but, vehicles are common in actually all 3 of the Lego Island games.
It's nice. It has that Grand Theft Auto feel. Of course, it's not quite the same, but
Well,
it is nice that you can hop into pretty much any vehicle you see and then just start driving.
The dude with the food is here, DJ man.
anyways, another interesting thing is actually the way that we're recording this Let's Play. Previous Let's Plays that we did, we were
basically in the
same room as each other, actually. But right now, we're actually on opposite sides of the country. In fact, I'm on the West Coast and Rahul's on the East Coast.
Yeah, let me tell you, East Coast time zone sucks. Growing on the West Coast, it was nice. You always had a Sunday night football at 5 o'clock. Now you have to stay up way into the morning to watch. East Coast time zone sucks, man.
Hey, Red, dancing dude.
I don't watch football, so
You're
it
lost.
doesn't matter to me. Anyways, the way we're doing this is we actually have a Skype call. So that's how we're talking to each other. But then we also, the way I'm playing the game is I'm actually using a cloud gaming PC. So when I tried to play Lego Island 2 locally, I found that I wasn't able to get the resolution that I wanted with the FPS that I wanted. So I'm actually using a 1080p hack for Lego Island 2 to increase the resolution because normally it doesn't go up that high. But I also wanted to record in 60 FPS, but I found that my local computer could not do both of those things at the same time. So I'm actually renting a cloud gaming PC from Paperspace. I've installed Lego Island 2 on it, and I'm running it. It's being recorded with DxTory. And I'm actually playing the game through a client called Parsec, which is like it's actually pretty good. It's almost like OnLive, if you guys have used that in the past.
I don't know if many people know what OnLive is. But...
Yeah, it wasn't around for that long. They ended up shutting down. But,
so what OnLive is, it's basically a streaming service. It's like a game streaming service, kind of how Netflix works for shows. So instead of actually playing a game on your computer, you stream the game. And it works especially for if your computer doesn't have like a good graphics card, if you don't have the specs or whatever, you can still play your games through the streaming service. It's quite interesting actually. Like right now, I am actually Varun's handling the controls right now, but I also have access to the controls, and I plan on messing with them at some point in this Let's Play. But
okay, don't do that. But I actually am curious because the data center that I picked was the West Coast, so I'm wondering if your latency is good enough to actually play reasonably. Actually, why don't you try a little bit and see if you can get anything?
It's actually not bad at all. Like right. So I was saying right, and then while I hit the key, so there's like a. It's not actually.
Well, it's going to be a little bit desynced because we're recording an audio call, and then the game, there's always going to be a little decent,
Right.
a little decent, so people in the video aren't going to be able to see anything. Anyways, yeah. So you're able to play. We'll have to see if it's good enough to play some of the mini games.
Yeah.
Don't mind me just walking up walls. Oh nope, wrong button.
Nancy, pizza delivery for you.
Just put it on the bench for me, Pepper. Nubby's out back, and he has some bricks for you. Hi.
Man, one of the best
Where's
things
my
about
bricks?
Oh, you stuck. One of the best things about this game is just the writing. Like, there's so many like funny
Give me
little
my
scenes.
bricks.
All the characters have a lot of personality to them. Oh, there it is. Oh, you gotta show us some car gameplay.
First, I'll take your bricks, and then I'll
Yo,
take his car.
Nubby, I hear you have some great
Next up is
bricks for
Nancy,
me.
dude.
Yo, Pepper, would you look at these? I found them in the scrapyard, cleaned them up, did a bit of welding, and now they're better than new.
I love this job. Building things for the Lego Islanders is so satisfying.
God, they have like these ridiculous accents. It's actually the funniest thing.
I took your car.
Oh, you can even
Deliver
honk.
the pizza
Nice.
to receive bricks for your new house, Peppa.
So civilized, staying on the path.
Deliver the
Come on,
pizza
GTA,
to
man.
receive bricks for your new
You just gotta
house,
close
Peppa.
your eyes and pretend it's Grand Theft Auto.
What's up,
No, but this
Papa
game has
Buccolini?
its own personality
Always a
and its own
warm
little
spot
quirks here
in
and
my
there.
heart when I see you, Pepper. Or is that gas? No, I ain't kidding. It's you. Have some bricks.
Lovely. A roof overhead to keep the rain off, and a nice bedroom for sleeping in, of course.
So is Papa actually
Deliver the pizza
Pepper's
to
his
receive
father?
bricks for your new house, Peppa.
I don't think so. Or at
No.
least I've never seen anything in the games that suggested that.
Pepper coming at ya.
So he's
Just
just
in
called Papa.
time, Pepper. The pizza is a lifesaver.
I mean, his last name is Briccolini, right? And then Pepper's last name is Aroni.
That's
Attention
true.
to detail is my middle name.
I mean, last names themselves don't necessarily mean.
Yeah, that's true.
Deliver the pizza to receive bricks for your new house, Peppa.
So skateboard in this, kind of slow and lame. I'm pretty sure it's much faster than Island Extreme Stunts.
Yeah, they definitely buffed the speed in that.
Hiya, Nick. I mean, Officer Nick Brick.
Oh, I don't know if we mentioned already, but you did a Let's Play of Island Extreme Stunts, and it
Yeah.
was not very good.
Honor and a good
Before your
soul.
voice dropped.
Oh my god. Times changed. It has been almost, I think,
Anyway,
yeah,
you now have
like a
a
few
bed
months
to
ago was
sleep
the
in, Pepper.
quote
So much
6-year
more comfortable
anniversary.
than the floor.
It's crazy how time flies. I don't know why I gave it up.
Pizza to receive
I
bricks for
basically
your
did
new
that.
house, Peppa.
I guess I was in like 6th grade or something.
Yeah, you said you were gonna do 100%, but you didn't.
Officer
Oh,
Lord
dude,
Brick,
I
that
snaked
is.
all the viewers.
10-4,
Maybe one day I gotta
everybody.
go back,
And you
but
sure
I'd have to
do know
replay
how
the
to
whole
protect
game to
and
get up to
serve.
that point. I don't have any of the save
Protect and
files.
serve.
Well, here's the
The
thing,
pizza
though.
that is. Have these bricks.
Someone is actually working on a widescreen patch for Island Extreme Stunts, so I was thinking that if we could get that working, then we could actually just replay Island Extreme Stunts 1080p 60 FPS.
That would be pretty fun,
Pizza
like a
to
great,
receive bricks for your new house,
redo.
Peppa.
Take this car.
Hey, this car appears in a Lego Racers too. We may or may not end up doing that.
Oh, yeah,
game.
yeah, Lego
Receive
Racers
bricks
2.
for your new
Yeah.
house,
Actually,
Peppa.
I think we should play that as well. I managed to get that working with widescreen,
Oh, nice.
and the
nice.
performance is actually quite good. So
Deliver the pizza
I was
to
thinking we could
receive
even
bricks
record
for
that in
your new
4K.
house, Peppa.
Both that
4K.
and Battlefront, because
Oh, man.
recorded in 4K. Yeah, you did a Let's Play of Battlefront, but you
Yeah, I,
never
well, I
finished it.
started. I did like the
Margarita,
first
right?
6 or 7 episodes.
Yeah.
I remember
Sorry, can't
you
stay
made that
chat.
little song,
Pizzas will get
the
cold.
the double
Oh,
helix
I
song.
must
It's
keep
the
you-
song
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
played in the
major
intro.
intro song,
Deliver
but
your bricks
oh,
to
man.
terrible.
Give the Briccolinis my regards and do tell them
I was
to
so
come
proud that
down
I timed up
soon.
all these little things.
I haven't had a
I timed
conversation
the,
with them for such a long
you know, like the
time.
gunfire, like switching
You will do
perspectives or
that for
something
me,
with like the
won't you,
beats in the
Pepper?
song.
Oh yeah.
That was a
Will
fun
do,
project.
Mrs. Post.
Alright, last guy,
Deliver
the
the
space
pizza
guy.
to receive bricks for your new house, Peppa.
You know, we could go up the normal way, or
Or you pulled this off
we could Skyrim horse it.
in the previous take, right? Yeah, that's right. Gotta run them sideways.
There we go.
Yeah, apologies for the lack of interesting
Hi, Bob. Pizzas
events.
for
So
ya.
this is kind of the tutorial section when you first start out on the island. I guess it's just getting you familiar with the controls. I'm not even sure. I mean, it is a kids game after all, so you can't really expect too much death out of the game,
Finished.
but
Yeah.
And that's why they call
It's
me
a-
Building.
pretty fun game. Although I remember you mentioned another take. You
Yeah,
asked
this is
whether
actually our
game
second
was-
take of this because the first time the audio got so desynced that you couldn't even understand our conversation. It's a disaster. So this is our second recording. But yeah, you were talking about the previous take.
Yeah, when the you asked whether these games were like worth it to play as kids, because so this game came out in 2001, and some other games that came out in 2001. I don't know actually. I think like one of the Halos came out. Maybe that was 2000.
So what do you
but-
want me to do?
Yeah, that
now?
sounds right.
Oh, like Majora's Mask came out in 2000.
But we never played any of those games because we didn't know they existed.
We didn't actually.
We just knew about
We never
Lego.
actually hopped on the
Papa, 'cause I'm the dude with the
Nintendo
food,
bandwagon
and I'm on my
until like
way.
mid GameCube era, I think.
Yeah, at some point we managed to get Nintendo consoles, and then we were able to play Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, you know, all the classics.
Smash Bros.
But a
Yeah,
good chunk of our life was spent playing these games. Well, okay, not all of them are, but in general, they're nowhere near as good as the other games that were available at the time. And I know that as a kid, I might have liked playing Knights of the Old Republic even more than this game. But then I played this game, and I have nostalgia for this game, so that's how it is.
Yeah, I mean, they're good kids games, right? Like this. I mean, you know, a funny personality. The writing is honestly, the writing is just good. Like, it's hilarious. Yeah.
That can melt most anything. No, this is cooler because it is for the Brickster, Pepper. So you be careful.
I hear that one, Mama. He won't trick me again.
But he will.
Yeah, that's a reference to the plot of the first Lego Island. Yeah, like the voice actors in this are hilarious. Like they all have their little accents here and there. It's a relatively entertaining game for a kid. Soundtrack's rather catchy.
Yeah, it's not a terrible game. Although the movement in this is pretty awkward compared to other platformers,
Right.
especially like Super Mario 64. But even Island
Right,
Extreme
so actually,
Stunts is a much smoother game to play.
Yeah, Island Extreme Stunts, they definitely improved the
Wow.
tightness of the
Today's
controls.
square meal looks kind of round.
But yeah, actually, so this game, so Lego Island 1 was created by a company called Mindscape. Mindscape, the day before they released Lego Island 1, they ended up firing their entire team.
Yeah, it's
So they
funny,
didn't have to pay
alright, but
bonuses,
don't
which
you
is
try
unfortunately
anything funny.
too common practice in the video game industry.
Only one
So,
chili?
This one company,
Now that is
whose
funny.
name eludes me. So give me a second.
Not the ha-ha
Are you talking about Arson Games?
Gee, that's interesting kind of funny.
No.
Funny because...
Chrysala Software.
all I
So
needed
I
was
was reading
one
an interview
small
earlier
chili
with
for my
this
patented
man
bricks to
who
dragon
worked with
fry.
Chrysala
I'm
Software,
not
who was
following
originally
you,
assigned
Brickster.
You will
to
in a
create
minute.
some sort of Lego game, and his original
Watch
idea
this.
was a game where you
A
play
dash
as a
of
kid,
jalapeno, a
and
touch
two
of
other
red chili,
kids,
a little of this,
like
a
humans,
little
who
of
get
that,
trapped in
and
this Lego
voila.
world. And he had this whole vision of this like
Step
platforming
back
game,
and watch my
Super
dragon
Mario
breath
64
flow.
style. I'll let this cutscene pass.
Yes, it's so important. Yeah, I mean the story is not
We're here
the
to
story
enjoy
in
the
this
game.
game is not
See you later,
incredible.
regulator.
Yeah.
It's
Hey! Wait!
Brickster escapes, you go catch him. The end. Spoilers.
Pretty much. It's still somewhat entertaining, like the way everything ends. But yeah, so this game, it was originally planned as this adventure of like humans in the Lego world, based off of Super Mario 64 and the Ocarina of Time. Well, so this company loses. I guess Lego was not very happy with this vision. They lose the game, and then it gets sent to Silicon Dreams, who ends up making this game, and then Island Extreme Stunts after it. And while they completely scrapped the whole humans in the Lego world, they still kept a lot of that platforming aspects, the vision. Of course, this game is not as this game is nowhere near as good as Super Mario 64 or Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but it definitely has its roots, like its 3D platforming roots from those kinds of games.
Mine, I tell you, mine.
So he's just ripping up all these books.
Yeah, the Constructopedia. And I guess when you do that, it also
that's right.
disassembles the buildings.
Destroys the buildings.
It is a sad day today on Lego Island.
Nah, I couldn't have written a better day. I now hereby summon the Brickster Box.
Oh, you know, Ogle is in this, but I always thought that maybe there was some like reference to or relation to Ogle and Alpha Team. But I actually don't think that there's any reference. They just both independently are called Ogle because it's Lego backwards, but that there isn't any particular relationship between the two Ogles.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, so Lego Star Wars and the new Traveler's Tales Lego games, those are kind of what we think of when we hear Lego games. But really, there was this first cohort of Lego games, starting in like the mid to late 90s and ending in the early 2000s. So we have the game that we mentioned, Lego Alpha Team, with our hero Dash. That's a very interesting game, and it's like this little puzzle game. It's actually a lot of fun. That might even be our next project, but that's one of those early Lego games. So Alpha Team, this one, Lego Racers we mentioned earlier. That's kind of like a racing game, Mario Kart competition style. They have a Lego Racers 1 and then a Lego Racers 2. Never ended up making Lego Racers 3, although. Lego ends up creating this thing called Drome Racers. That came out about 2005. I remember because that was the time Varun and I first visited Legoland.
Oh, that's another
Well,
game,
we've only been there
Legoland.
once, but... Oh, I meant the
Yeah.
actual amusement park. But yeah, there is a Legoland game that we own. And then Stunt Track Rally, which is...
Yeah, those games are not... Stunt Rally and Legoland are not so great. Stunt Rally actually, like... I don't know if you know, but basically you don't even drive in the game. All you do is accelerate and decelerate.
Yeah,
but it turns out that there's a console command that you can put in that... I guess just left in as some sort of debug or testing code. And I was thinking that, like, we might actually be able to do a Let's Play where it's just free-form driving. And that might actually make the game, like, a game.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Well, I guess the appeal of Lego Stunt Track Rally is that you could build your own tracks and then race on them.
Yeah, but I mean, if the racing mechanics are bad, I don't feel like there's any reason to want to build your own tracks.
What are you doing?
Man, this cutscene is long.
That's true, actually.
That's all we can ask for, and here's what we need. 1. Find the pages that are now gone. 2. Rebuild the island. 3. Get ready, and 4. Go, man, go. Watch out for those Brickster bots.
Alright, so you just have to take out the...
Yeah, also get the... I have to get the Constructopedia pages.
Pepper,
Oh, you have to get the
you
pages.
must find the pages for the Constructopedia. They'll be scattered around the island.
Yeah, so
somewhere.
the game conveniently includes this little GPS of the Infomaniac. So it's not a particularly challenging game, I suppose. If you
Yeah, I
wanted to, you
wonder.
could.
I wonder if Brutal Moose
not
realized
use
that
the GPS.
at any point you can just hold Shift and then get the next objective location.
What were his criticisms? of the
There were a
game?
ton. I don't really remember off the top of my head. Oh yeah, one thing that they mentioned is there's no building of any kind, whereas previous Lego Islands had that.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's actually a pretty big letdown compared to the first game.
Find the pages for the Constructopedia. They'll be
I mean, it's a
scattered
Lego
around the
game.
island somewhere.
Well, I guess I can understand wanting to build like a story, quote unquote, story-based Lego game. You know, platforming. Maybe there's a lot of room for building there, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a terrible idea,
Page
but
building.
they could definitely do so much more. Like, why did it take so long for us to get... First we had to get Minecraft right, and then they realized that, oh wait, this actually is like a
Scattered around the island
cool
somewhere.
thing to integrate the Lego franchise into. But someone could have come up with that idea from the
yeah,
get-go,
actually,
I think.
there's really been a lot of like
Must
free-form
find the
building.
pages for the Constructopedia.
Like,
They'll be
You can
scattered
build
around the
in
island somewhere.
Lego Island, but isn't it quite limited?
We have located
Like,
a
still
page.
relatively
Over.
limited in terms of like. the parts.
Yeah, it is limited. I mean, you pretty much just build your vehicles.
Pepper, you must find the pages for
And the racing minigame. I don't know if you've seen, but it's
Oh, it's terrible.
it's like a drug trip.
Yeah, that's honestly like the best way to describe it. Like, it is not very robust. I think there's only one or two racetracks that you just go around
I'm
the
pretty
island.
sure there's just one racetrack.
I know that there's like it's like a skeleton or a pirate or something like that.
We're doing it now.
Yeah, some sort of giant skeleton that kicks you around.
Yeah, that kicks you around. That's right.
Okay, I gotta get the booster bots now.
quick, Peppa. Get those bricks to bot heads. We need them to fix the mainframe.
I love watching the Brickster bots, like the little animations. Like, watch this Brickster bot harass Papa.
Oh yeah,
This
that's
guy's like
pretty
riding
great.
on top of this guy's head, and then, you know, like, just follow Papa for a bit. Alright, looks like they're not doing it, but sometimes they'll like, yeah, they're like following his exact moments, and then when he like looks around, they'll like lean to the other side and all that stuff. It's like this game does have a lot of like little cute personality stuff, but like it's clear that the developers had a great sense of humor.
Gold bot.
There you go.
Oh, this one.
We all know that, but you may not know that they can be stopped by flinging pizzas at them. Hurry, Peppa, get to the information center. I need help with these bricks to bot heads.
Yeah, so soon coming, you'll see another big aspect of this game, which is the mini games, and I guess there's like this exploration aspect of the game, and then there's all these different mini games you can play that contribute to the story.
Wait, I definitely didn't hit that. What?
I won't breathe.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, there's all these different mini games. This one's very simple. It's just a whack-a-mole. I think the mini games are pretty fun though. Like, of course, it's not like Mario Party where a significant portion of the game is mini games, and they're pretty high-quality mini games. Mario Party mini games are pretty good, but they're nice little mini games.
Back you go. Back you go.
Another one of the problems with this game, and I don't want to just complain about the game, like, it was a fun experience as a child, right? You know, when you had low standards, you play pretty much anything. It was a somewhat pretty fun experience, and I have some fond memories looking back at it.
You go.
You know, things like this, like, they kind of just get repetitive. Like, when you're, like, just hitting heads for like a minute.
This game is better than Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Yeah, I guess when you were young, we didn't really have too many options, right? We played these games, we played the Nintendo games, and then the Sonic games
Sonic.
on Nintendo consoles, because we were too young to play any of the Sega consoles. Those had all gone by the time we got in the game.
Excellent work, Peppa.
Yeah, as a kid, I was super excited for Shadow the Hedgehog. I thought it was so badass. And then I played it. And even as a kid, I knew that it was a bad game.
Call from Castle Island. Urgent. The Brickster broke the bridge.
You know, we should actually... That's something that we should consider Let's Playing. You know, we should do
100% of Shadow the Hedgehog?
Which
No
means
way,
that,
dude.
yes, which means you have to play Westopolis
Oh my
10
God.
times, I believe.
Get him.
I think actually maybe even more than that. Once for each ending.
Yeah, I guess, like, funny thing about Shadow the Hedgehog is they have, like 12 different endings or something. So,
Horror.
I
If you
forget the
actually go
exact
through the
number,
path
but yeah,
every
there's
time-
branching endings.
I think.
Yeah, but I don't know. The entire way the game is structured is completely nonsensical. Like in it, the objectives in levels determine different paths in the story, but the way you move through different paths in the story is by going through different levels. But the thing is, every level has the same, always has
choice.
one.
Well, no, there's some like evil only levels and good only levels, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, every level has a cutscene in the beginning, right? But that cutscene is always the same, regardless of where you come to that level from. So for many levels, there's 3 ways in which you can get to that level, right? But if there's only one cutscene, like you often end up in situations where like it's just nonsensical and the story makes absolutely no sense. Like Game Grumps was they were playing this one level where you kill the president and they shot down the president's plane, and then in the next cutscene the president's plane just landed. So what's going on? It's most likely because that cutscene was intended or made in such a way that it made sense for some other pathway into that level, but not for the current pathway that they were taking.
Yeah, it was a creative idea, but fell sloppy on the execution.
Yeah, and at
Same
the
way
very
this
least they should have made it so that you could like replay from any level, right? Without having to restart the whole thing.
Right. But yeah, Westopolis is the first stage. You just have to keep playing it over and over and over again. whenever you want to try like a new storyline path.
All right.
All right. Anyway,
yeah, that,
that's probably gonna wrap up episode
one. That is the first part of Lego Island.
Talking over me.
Now we're on Castle Island. I think the dock's somewhere over
This
here.
is where the game ideally starts to pick up. I suppose you just have to find out next time whether it really does or not.
It's next time I actually find where the dock is.